Alright, live on YouTube, live on the Rumble. I don't even have this set where I want it to be set. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you, viewer, of course, are you. Thank you so much for coming in and watching us. Today is Sun's Day, aka Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. The show is about interesting and important events that occurred today throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with the year 303. First official Roman edict for persecution of Christians was issued by Emperor Diocletian at Nicomedia, ordering all churches to be closed and scriptures burnt.
Whoa.
That's terrible. 896, Pope Formosus was crowned Arnulf King of Carinthia and Holy Roman Emperor in Rome. Arnulf suffered a stroke soon after, and then retreated from Italy. Yikes. 1076, having received a letter during the Lenten Synod of 1420 February demanding that he abdicate, Pope Gregory VII excommunicated Henry IV, Holy Roman Emperor. Whoops.
I'm not leaving, you're gone.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I'm the Pope.
Yeah.
You know?
Whoops.
1300, Pope Boniface VIII issued papal bull, a decree instating a jubilee year, granting forgiveness for sins and debts for those who fulfill various conditions. That almost sounds like he's taking advantage of people's religious beliefs there for his own personal gain. I don't know. 1371, King Robert II of Scotland, reigning from 1371 through 90, became the first monarch of the House of Stuart, beginning the Stuart dynasty. All right. 1415, English King Henry V laid the foundation stone for Sion Abbey for nuns of the Bridgestone Order, became one of the wealthiest abbeys in England. And here's an image of that. So this is obviously like it's a picture of a painting. Yeah. I'm not even sure if that's an actual painting, because this might all be artist rendition. This might all be AI, actually. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm going to assume it's a picture of a painting.
Yeah. 1632, Galileo Galilei's book Dialogue Concerning the Two Chief World Systems was published, comparing the Copernican and Ptolemaic systems and whether the Earth orbits the Sun. It says here, Ferdinando II de' Medici, Grand Duke of Tuscany, the dedicatee, received the first printed copy of Galileo's Dialogue Concerning the Two Chief World Systems. So this guy got a book. So, yeah.
Debating whether the Earth sounds so silly to us now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, recent findings, well, not really recent, but 15, 20 years ago or whatever, it's being discovered that people back then, they knew the world was round. I mean, you look at ancient Egyptians with the pyramids. I mean, first off, the pyramids were ancient, during ancient Egyptian times. They were ancient back in those times. But whoever built them, knew that the world was round or whatever the world is, and they align them with the stars, and that requires knowledge beyond.
Well, knowledge has been gained and lost many times in this world.
Very true. 1633, St. Peter's Baldachin, the cathedral's sculptural centerpiece by Gain Lorenzo Bernini, was inaugurated by Pope Urban VIII in Rome, and that's actually what this is. This is in the Vatican. This piece, that's the baldachin.
Look at that.
Yeah, this centerpiece thing here. So, wild looking.
It's actually a giant four-poster bed.
Huh.
That's what it looks like to me.
1651, St. Peter's flood. A storm surge flooded the Frisian coast, drowning 15,000 people.
Jeez.
Wow. 1656, New Amsterdam was granted a Jewish burial site. And I'm wondering, were the Jews wanting their own special burial site? And if so, why are they separating themselves from everybody else? Or, were they not allowed to be buried in any other place? I'm just want to know why. New Amsterdam granted a Jewish burial site. So a cemetery for Jews. I'm just wondering, why was there a segregation? For what reason?
Well, the Jews probably asked for it, and they,
Well, then why would they want to be buried separately from other people? Do they think that they're different than us?
No. Well, they believe spiritually they're different, yes, but I mean, I don't see it unusual to want a particular site, a Jewish burial site, or a Protestant burial site if you want.
I don't like the idea of, a segregation thing like that for any religion. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying. Maybe you don't like the idea of being buried next to an atheist. I don't know. I mean, that's absurd. I get it, but
Well, why would I care? I'm dead.
the
You
people
know?
that buried you would care.
What
Well,
business
you're
is
not
it
buried
of
next to an
theirs?
atheist,
What business is it of theirs where I'm
It's
buried?
not. But different spiritualities want their own place.
I just don't like any
communal deal.
form of separation. I don't like
You're
it.
not buying anything I have to say.
I understand, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I know the reasons.
Right.
I was just asking hypothetically, like I thought we were past all this segregational bullshit.
Why some religions don't allow you to be cremated? What's up with that? You're dead.
Well, if you know that going in, or you figure it out, you either stay there agreeing with it, or you find a different religion.
I mean, what's the point of it? Is what I'm getting at.
It's just how they set their rules up. Anyway, we got to keep going
Yeah.
here. 1744, Battle of Toulon, the Battle of Cape Sacy, Spanish naval fleet supported by France's Levant fleet broke through a 2-year-old British blockade of Italy, allowing the Spanish to go on the offensive against Savoy. All
We
right.
have a blockade for 2 years. My
Yeah.
goodness.
A 2-year-old, 2-year-old British blockade. It says here, the War of Austrian Succession, the Battle of Toulon, caused several Royal Navy captains to be court-martialed and the Articles of War to be amended. So, because the
Did
British...
something wrong.
No, because that was the British.
Yeah.
And from the first, the primary source is the first part of that, and the secondary source. This is why I love using two sources, but also why I'm just why doesn't more sources roll everything they can find in, like what I'm doing. I'm just one guy and I'm doing this. They have funding. What's their excuse? But
Who's funding them?
I don't know, advertisers, but I find it interesting. This is the UK's response to them being broken through.
Yeah.
Really interesting. 1770, British Customs Officer Ebenezer Richardson fired blindly into a crowd during a protest in North End, Boston, fatally wounding 11-year-old Christopher Sider, the first American fatality of the American Revolution. And I think this is a shot heard around the world because I looked this up, and it said something about the Boston Massacre.
Ah.
So I think this is the first thing. So
We have something similar that happened on January 6th. Police officer shooting into a crowd blindly and killing a woman.
yeah. It says trial of Ebenezer, yada yada. We're right here, Boston Massacre of 1770. So, and we know this image. Actually, I think I have it. Yeah, it's right there. So, this might be the shot heard around the world. You know what? Let me just look it up. When was the shot heard around the world fired? Okay, April 19th, 1775. Okay, yeah. So that was at the Battle of Lexington and Concord.
There you go.
So
yeah.
that was after this, but this is the Boston Massacre, which led up to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1774, British House of Lords ruled authors do not have perpetual copyrights. I mean, I guess me being an author, I can understand that. I mean, you gotta keep fresh. You gotta.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you keep your copyrights? It's something you created.
Well, after a
Why can't you have
time.
perpetual copyrights?
Well, nothing has perpetual copyrights is the point, because after a certain time, it goes into public domain, and all that stuff. You can't have a monopoly even if you created something.
Apparently not.
So, I mean, the only time when I think it would otherwise be dispersed would be upon your death.
Because then I could understand it. Okay,
Yeah.
you didn't. The heirs didn't create it.
Yeah, but that would be this. That's not perpetual copyright. That'd be lifetime copyright. So.
Well, that's different. Perpetuals forever after
Yeah.
your death.
Well, what if somebody wants to continue the series? I'm dead. What if there's a bunch of fans and they want to keep it going? It won't be the same, but they'll at least be allowed to continue what they love.
No, because that was somebody's specific idea, and you can't take it from them.
Well, you're not claiming ownership. You're just keeping it going. Because without copyright, when it's not copyrighted anymore...
You're stealing the idea. You're making something... You're moving it on, but you're still stealing the idea. And without permission, from the heirs or from if he's living, no, you can't do
Well,
that.
living, like if it's a lifetime copyright, okay, I'm fine with that. But perpetual, I'm not so sure. Why don't we debate this?
Because look at it, if they do whatever it is that you created and someone's adding on to it now, maybe they don't like it and they figure it hurts the image of the creator. There's hundreds of things that could go
Very
go bad
true.
on it.
Copyrights. Right. Lifetime. Question mark. Perpetual. Question mark. Okay. I'm going to add that into that. So, anyway, moving on up, 1775, first U.S. joint stock company to make cloth offered shares at 10 cents. That's kind of expensive back then. 10 cents?
Make cloth?
The first U.S. joint stock company, so the first company to go on the stock market was a cloth, or was a company that made cloth.
Oh, okay.
They became public, and they offered shares at 10 cents a share, which is pretty steep when you think about it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't know what the rate was in those days. That's an initial offer.
Yeah. 1775, Jews were expelled from their settlements on the outskirts of Warsaw, Poland. Here we go again. Why does this keep happening? 1784, Empress of China, the first U.S. ship to trade with China, sailed from New York. 1797, the last invasion of Britain. We were talking about Britain being conquered and all that stuff. Yesterday you brought all that up. Mm-hmm. The last invasion of Britain was launched by the French near Fishguard, Wales, during the French Revolutionary Wars in 1797 on this date.
Okay.
So, 1819, the Adams-Onis Treaty between Spain and the United States was signed, ceding Florida to the U.S. and defining the boundary between the U.S. and New Spain. All right. And it says here, Spain sold Florida to the U.S. for $5 million. It's telling me to image search this, so I'm going to do so.
What did they do for $5 million?
We bought Florida from Spain.
Okay, that's what I thought it meant.
Yeah. Hold on. Bigger. There we go. Right here is what I want to bring up. If this is a big image, yeah, this is pretty cool. So basically, this is what we bought, and then, but it also made this border here. So this is Viceroyalty of New Spain. This was all eventually became Mexico before we took it and everything.
Yeah, before we took it.
Yeah.
It went all the way up to Oregon. Mexico did.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
Oregon country. Yeah, and Washington is up here, Oregon is here, and this is all California, Baja California, Mexico.
We took a bunch of land from them.
Oh, we did. Well, it was Texas was taken because of the whole Santa Ana thing after the Alamo.
Yeah.
And then, then the Treaty of, I think it was Guadalupe Hidalgo, we got all of this section afterward, which completed the entire southern border as we know it today.
Yeah.
So it was two different events, but probably related. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, 1825, Russia and Britain established the Alaska-Canada boundary. Speaking of boundaries and all that stuff. Actually, yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
So it's a little small here, but it has the Canadian claim is a red, which is all this.
Mm-hmm.
The United States claim is a blue, which is all this. And then the final boundary was kind of sort of in the middle, more favoring the U.S. in some areas, but kind of matching Canada's one and others. But still, pretty interesting.
Yeah.
We have
There's the Yukon up there.
Yeah. 1825, Russia and Britain established. We got that one. 1847, Battle of Buena Vista began between the U.S. and Mexican troops.
There you go.
5,000 American troops defeated 15,000 Mexican troops.
Wow.
Yikes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. 1848, another French Revolution, which would lead to the establishment of the French Second Republic, began. 1854, the first meeting of the Republican Party in Michigan.
Yeah. Look at that.
And
what if Trump was there? He's old enough.
Almost. 2 years later, the Republican Party held its first national meeting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
He wasn't because he's a Democrat.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember seeing a video about him saying if he ever ran for president, he'd do so as a Republican because, and I quote, "they're stupid enough to vote for me." No, I'm not kidding. That's an actual.
I believe it.
Yeah, there's a recording of that somewhere out there.
He's a very funny guy.
Yeah, I don't trust him. 1860, organized baseball played in San Francisco for the first time between the Eagles and the Red Rovers.
What, 1860?
1860, organized baseball, yeah. Baseball is old. Very old.
Yeah.
1860 as well, as shoemaking workers of Lynn, Massachusetts strike successfully for higher wages. 365 days later, on a bet, Edward Weston left Boston to walk to Lincoln's inauguration.
Wow.
Impressive. 1862, during the American Civil War, Jefferson Davis was officially inaugurated for a 6-year term as the President of the Confederate States of America in Richmond, Virginia, having been previously inaugurated as Provisional President on February 18th in 1861. I think we covered a little bit of that yesterday.
We go through so much stuff I don't remember.
Yeah. 1865, Tennessee adopted a new constitution abolishing slavery. Yes, my home state of Tennessee. 1872, the first National Convention of Prohibition Party in Columbus, Ohio. They held their first national convention in Columbus, Ohio, nominating James Black as its presidential nominee.
Have to say it. Ohio!
Ohio! 1876, Johns Hopkins University opened.
Ah, Johns Hopkins, yeah.
I know that name.
Wow.
1878, Greenback Labor Party formed in Toledo, Ohio. Holy Toledo.
Ohio. Holy Toledo.
Holy Toledo, Ohio. We're adding on to it. 1879, the first Woolworth's Graped 5-cent store opened by Frank Winfield Woolworth in Utica, New York, and it almost failed immediately.
Whoa.
Yeah. Actually, no. This is... this was the Republican Party thing. This was a cabin they met in. The birthplace of the Republicans. So this was the first article, not the first convention that they held. And here we go. This is a Woolworths.
Can you
5-cent
just find
store.
out if Woolworths still exists today?
Let's look. I think we've looked this up, but it's just a Woolworths. Does Woolworths exist? F.W. Woolworth Company. Industry Retail. February 16th, 1905, corporate entity. It defunct. July 17th, 1997.
So it's gone.
1997, 0717. Said division only.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
Said division?
It says in parentheses, said division only. Fate, department stores closed. Name changed in 98 to Venator Corp. And 2001 to Foot Locker.
Oh, okay.
So they became Foot Locker?
I guess so.
But I thought Foot Locker existed before 2001. Maybe not.
I don't know.
Huh.
Well, they
So
could have been bought by
successor.
Foot Locker.
Success for Foot Locker, 1974 to present. Yeah, so they were. So so they just got
Could've
eaten
been-
by Foot Locker.
Yeah.
What a sad fate. Oh. 1881, Cleopatra's Needle, a 3,500-year-old ancient Egyptian obelisk, was erected in Central Park, New York. Image search this. Yes. I wanted to show this to you. This was in Central Park. I think we saw this when we were up there all those years ago. But this was, taken from Egypt. It's now in Central Park now. This obelisk. Let's see if I can... Is this going to be a big image? No, it's not. Damn it. And this is something. Open in... okay, well, this is the best I can do.
I don't think we saw that.
Probably not. I would have liked to, though.
Yeah. If I knew it existed, that
Yeah. 1882, the Serbian Kingdom was refounded. 82 as well, with 120 miles, James Saunders won New York City's 24-hour race and he won a $100 prize. We spoke about that yesterday, but it was a 24-hour race. So, 1887, Union Labor Party organized in Cincinnati. 1 year after that, the father of American golf, John Reed, first demonstrated golf on a Yonkers cow pasture to his friends. We have it right here. So the first demonstration of golf. Pretty interesting. Wasn't there another sport that's... Well, no, it was the first baseball game in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
But,
earlier.
But not the first baseball game ever.
No.
So, 1889, U.S. President Cleveland signed a bill to admit the Dakotas, North and South Dakota, Montana, and Washington State to the Union.
Oh, all at once.
Yeah. 1889, the Filipino forces led by General Antonio Luna launched counterattacks for the first time against the U.S. forces during the Philippine-U.S. War, but were unable to regain Manila from the budding global superpower, the U.S. So we held Manila. 1892, Manitoba Rugby Union formed, or football union. So, 1898, this one's awful. Black postmaster was lynched and his wife and 3 daughters were shot in Lake City, South Carolina.
Jeez.
Christ. 1904, the Hague Tribunal gave its decision in claims against Venezuela. It set the sum to be paid by Venezuela and gave preferential treatment to the 3 powers that initiated the bloc, Britain, Germany, and Italy. That doesn't sound too nice.
I don't know what that was all about.
Something involving Venezuela. Like,
Yeah, no,
I guess
I know
who
that.
owns it? You know, because the Hague.
I'm not sure.
The Hague. I know that there's a major criminal tribunal over there, and I think the UN is involved in the Hague or something as well. The Hague, however you pronounce it. 904 as well. This is. I just read that one. It says here the United Kingdom sold a meteorological station on the South Orkney Islands to Argentina. The islands were subsequently claimed by the United Kingdom 4 years later, 1908. Wow. That's awful. So they sold it, took the money, and then took it back. That's evil. 907, London's first cabs with taximeters began operating, and then right here, of course.
There you go.
But you have the headlights.
Yeah.
But this is a taxi.
Yeah.
So and there's a meter somewhere, like probably behind you or something. Maybe that's what this is some kind of counter. Wouldn't be a screen. But,
oh no!
But like a flip clock or something, like they had analog.
I doubt it.
Clock displays.
So where do you want to go? Okay, and he'd say it cost you so many shillings or whatever.
909, the Great White Fleet, the first U.S. fleet to circle the globe, returned to Virginia, and it's basically like it was a bunch of battleships.
Yeah.
And they were painted white as the Great White Fleet, but you can see they just they could just keep going. There's like 16 ships in total.
Is this military?
Yeah, these are battleships.
Okay, yeah, but they're still battleships.
Yeah, well, they can function as battleships, but this was more of like this was 1909. This was the U.S. flexing on the whole world. It's like, oh, look at our because there was 16 battleships of the Great White Fleet led by USS Connecticut returned to the United States after a voyage around the world. So it was just doing a massive 16 battleships all painted white and very visible and all that stuff. 1911, the Canadian Parliament resolved to maintain look at that photo right there. That's scary. That's a show of force. The Canadian Parliament resolved to maintain union with the British Empire while controlling domestic fiscal affairs. Sounds like a problem there. 1912, J. Vedrines made the first airplane flight over 100 miles per hour, flying at 100 or at specifically 161.29 kilometers per hour. All right. 1915, Germany began unrestricted submarine warfare.
Great.
In 1916, the House Gray Memorandum, drafted by the U.S. and Britain, stated, should the Allies accept the American idea of a conference to end the war, and should Germany refuse it, the United States would probably enter the war against Germany. So, yeah. 1917, German Navy torpedoed 7 Dutch ships. That's a lot.
Yeah.
1918, Germany claimed the Baltic states, Finland, and Ukraine from Russia. Yep.
German subs did sink a lot of.
Oh yes.
A lot of ships.
Yeah, yes, they did. Unrestricted submarine warfare. 1921, after Russian forces under Baron Roman von Ungernsternberg drove the Chinese out, the Bog Khan was reinstalled as the Emperor of Mongolia. All right. 1922, London issued a unilateral declaration of Egyptian independence. I support that. 1923, the first successful chinchilla farm in the U.S. Was in Los Angeles, California.
How about that?
Yeah, what the hell is a chinchilla? I don't want rumble.
Yeah, there you go. I'll show you.
Yeah. No, I looked this up earlier, but it's these little mouse things.
Yeah.
So, really interesting,
they make fur with those guys.
Oh, I know. I thought they just sold them as like little hamster alternatives or something.
I thought there was chinchilla fur or something. Maybe not. I mean,
maybe.
they're really small, but
yeah, maybe, but they don't really look that woolly. So unless they're just raising them and mass killing them, and then what do they do with the non-fur stuff? Just mix it in with like dog food or something? I don't know. That sounds horrifying.
Not too far.
1923, U.S. transcontinental airmail service began. In 1927, Baruch Spinoza's House of Mourning was opened as a museum. 1928, we have the first solo flight from England to Australia, landed at Darwin 15 and a half days after takeoff, piloted by Australian aviator Bert Hinkler. All right.
15 and a half days.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this.
Yeah, we did.
15, 16 days ago.
Yeah,
when it first took off. 1932, the Purple Heart, the Badge of Military Merit Award, was reinstituted. So this award here says here for military merits.
But reinstituted, that means they dropped it at some point.
I believe I remember reading an article about them dropping that and other medals. I think they even dropped the Medal of Honor. I'm not sure. 1933, Hungarian scholar and founder of the Tibetan studies Alexander Koma de Koros declared a Bodhisattva a Buddhist saint in Japan, so he was declared it. So, 1933 as well, Malcolm Campbell set a world land speed record of 272.46 miles per hour driving his famous Bluebird car at Daytona Beach, Florida. That has obviously since been surpassed, but that's still pretty fast. And, oh wow, is that his car?
Look, wow, so.
Yes, it is. Look at that thing. Open image and new tab. Oh, it's still kind of small.
It looks pretty aerodynamic to me. For what year?
1930.
I can't believe that.
1933.
Well, maybe
there it is.
Yeah, that looks more like something in 1933.
Yeah. What is? I guess this is more of a modern thing. That's weird. Yeah, this is not. This is not that. So it has to be this guy. Oh.
That looks like it could be. I'm not saying it is.
That looks more like it, though.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1934, It Happened One Night. Directed by Frank Capra and starring Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert, opened at New York's Radio City Music Hall and got the Academy Awards Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress, and Screenplay in 1935. Wow. 1934, Andre Marlou and Edward Corrington Mondelez set out to find the lost capital of the Queen of Sheba, as mentioned in the Old Testament. I wonder if they found anything.
Yeah, I wish they'd tell us.
Yeah. 1935, The Little Colonel premiered, starring Shirley Temple, Lionel Barrymore, and Bill Robinson, featuring famous stair dance with Hollywood's first interracial dance couple.
No. What
Bill
year
Robinson.
is this again?
35.
So she's a little bit older then.
She was
like a teenager.
She was born in 28, so 35 she'd be 7.
No, 28. Yeah.
She was born in 1928.
Okay.
Plus 7 equals 1935.
Yeah.
Or no, she'd be 8.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, but she's still a girl.
Yeah.
So.
She just if that's a picture of her then, she looks more like a teenager there.
Well, they're not using accurate.
Oh, okay.
No, but this is apparently when she was getting what started her getting death threats and everything, and ultimately, what's his face gave her a tear gas pen or something. We covered that article earlier.
I do remember something.
J. Edgar Hoover, I believe, gave her a tear gas pen. Actually, let me click Shirley Temple because it was later on when she was in her teens or maybe early 20s. Let's see here. Blah blah. Husband could apply to one. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Oh, here we go. 1949. J. Edgar Hoover gave Shirley Temple a tear gas fountain pen because she was getting death threats for being in a. I was told Bojangles, but there was also this, and there was some serious racism back in those days. So, 1935 as well. Airplanes are no longer permitted to fly over the White House. All right.
Well, that makes common sense.
Yeah, that didn't stop a disgruntled army private from buzzing it with a helicopter that one time. 1936, Sonja Henie of Norway followed up her Winter Olympics victory with an incredible 10th consecutive Women's World Championship figure skating gold medal in Paris, France.
Wow.
Dang. 1936, Netherlands recognized Francisco Franco's dictatorial regime in Spain. Not good. 1940, German Air Force sunk 2 German destroyers, killing 578. Friendly fire? I mean, that's awful, but better than us. But 500, 2 destroyers and 578 hands. That's terrible. But then we did a friendly fire accident, actually. We'll get to that here in a minute. 1941, IG Farben Company decided to build its Buena Werke rubber factory adjacent to Auschwitz concentration camp to have easy access to slave labor and safe cover from Allied bombing because they knew the bombers wouldn't bomb anywhere around known POWs or anything like that.
Yeah.
So what a terrible thing.
Yeah.
So 1941, Nazi police raided Amsterdam and rounded up 429 young Jews for deportation to be sent to Birkenwald and Mauthausen concentration camps. 42, World War II, President Franklin Roosevelt ordered General Douglas MacArthur out of the Philippines as American defenses collapsed.
Yep. I'll be back.
Yep. 1943, 3 members of the White Rose student anti-Nazi resistance group were executed in Munich, Germany.
Ooh,
yeah. Sophie Scholl, Hans Scholl, and Christoph Probst. Yeah. 44, during World War II, the U.S. Army Air Force accidentally bombed the Dutch town of Nijmegen. Around 800 civilians died.
Oh,
so, actually, not just that one. Nijmegen, Arnhem, Enschede, and Deventer, causing 800 needless deaths in Nijmegen alone. So that was still Nijmegen. Arnhem, man, like that was during.
War was awful.
Yeah, it was. I know Arnhem from frickin' Monty's plan to paratroop and all that stuff into the Netherlands. They were going to try to take a whole bunch of bridges and like scoop up and down into Germany. Patton wanted to fuel his tanks. It was Operation Market Garden. If that rings any kind of bells.
Does not.
But like there was an ultimatum. Patton wanted to use tanks and just go right into Germany. And Monty wanted to do a whole parachute thing up in the Netherlands and all that stuff, and then go into Germany from there. And they only had enough gas for one of those two. And ultimately, they gave it to Monty. And Operation Market Garden was a disastrous failure. Like so many paratroopers got encircled and killed, and it was such a waste.
Well, even in the movie, they play that incident.
Yeah.
He says, I can go directly in there. The moment is now. It's going to pass quickly.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, in Patton, they cover this in Patton. He's like, give me 500,000 gallons, I'll go straight to Berlin.
Yeah.
Just listen to frickin' Patton,
Yeah. Yeah.
1945, Arab League formed in Cairo. 46, the Long Telegram, which proposed the U.S. should deal with the Soviet Union, arrived at the United States Embassy in Moscow. So I guess, telling them in Long, why they should be dealing with the Soviet Union. 1955, British aircraft carrier HMS Ark Royal set sail. I want to take a look at this ship. Let's see here. Images. Give me the images. And see, the striking difference between U.S. aircraft carriers and practically every other country. Like, I don't think any other country has aircraft carriers in the design as ours. You see that they have a little ramp here.
Yeah.
And that's to take off.
Yeah.
But they don't really have like a jet thing like we do, for the propulsion starts.
Yeah.
So they actually so it kicks them up and everything. But to land, they still have to land in that same. So they're effectively.
I thought they come in the other end.
They're still occupying that runway. The way we have our aircraft carrier set up, we can launch 2 aircraft simultaneously while a third is landing at the same time.
Okay.
They can only use 1 aircraft at a time. We can be launching 2 with a third on its way down. So, it's really crazy. And there's a meme I saw out there. It's like, it's one of our U.S. carriers, and then like a Britain's carrier, and it's just like, hey U.S., are you compensating for something? And then the U.S. is like, yeah, our allies. Get better. 1957, jockey Ted Atkinson, 3,500th win. All right. 1957 as well, Ngo Dien Diem of South Vietnam survived a communist shooting assassination attempt in Buon Ma Thuot. 1958, Egypt and Syria formed the United Arab Republic, UAR. Following a plebiscite in both countries the previous day, Egypt and Syria joined to form the United Arab Republic. 59, inaugural Daytona 500, the first one, Lee Petty and Johnny Beauchamp crossed the finish line side by side. Beauchamp declared unofficial winner, ruling overturned after 3 days by NASCAR founder Bill France Sr. That sounds like favoritism right there. 1960, German skier George Stoma became the first non-Nordic athlete to win the Nordic combined event at the Squaw Valley Winter Olympics. Now I know why I love that word, squaw. Because it's very close to Squab.
Squaw Valley. Yeah, I remember those Olympics up there.
Yeah.
They worried they weren't going to have any snow, but they did get some just in time.
Well, I'm talking about the 2.5 men's team. Squab.
I know. Squab.
Yeah. 1962, Philadelphia center Wilt Chamberlain set an NBA record with 34 free throw attempts, converted 19, in Warriors' 139-121 win over St. Louis Hawks at Philadelphia Civic Center. All right. NBA legend. Yeah, you're damn right he is. 1963, the Beatles began their own music publishing company, the Northern Songs.
Oh.
All right. 66, Soviet launched Cosmos 110 with Vetrok and Ugalik, the first two-dog crew. So they sent two dogs up.
Two dogs, yeah.
Well, you know.
They were big on sending dogs up.
Yeah, that's weird. 1967, 25,000 U.S. and South Vietnamese troops launched Operation Junction City against the Viet Cong, the largest U.S. airborne assault since World War II. 67 as well, slingshot goalposts and 6-foot wide border around field were standard in NFL. So is that like the posts?
Yeah.
Okay. 1968, rock group Genesis released their first record, Silent Sun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is the genesis of Genesis.
Yeah.
1 year later, 1969, Barbara Jo Rubin became the first female jockey to win at a U.S. Parimutuel race at a major U.S. track aboard Coliseum at Charlestown in West Virginia. 1969 as well, the Beatles began recording what became their Abbey Road album at EMI Recording Studio at 3 Abbey Road in Westminster, London, England. The studio was later renamed in honor of their achievements there. All right.
I think Abbey Road is the one where they had that big deal where John is dead if he played it backwards and all that stuff.
Yeah, and also he was not in step with them on the crosswalk.
Yeah.
So, yeah. 1972, Red Wings rookie Henry Boucha scored in his first NHL game in a 5-4 win over Toronto Maple Leafs at Olympias Arena in Detroit, Michigan. The guy come out swinging, man. His first ever game, and he scores. That's awesome.
Yeah.
1973, Turkish Delight, Holland's most successful film, directed by Paul Verhoeven and starring Rutger Hauer, was released. I wonder if it's still their most popular film, or most successful film. I mean, Holland. So it must have made something since then. 1973, U.S. and China agreed to establish liaison offices in Beijing and Washington, D.C. Yeah, not a good idea. 74, Ethiopian police shot at demonstrators. That is not an intelligent move. 74 as well, the organization of the Islamic Conference Summit began in Lahore, Pakistan, seeing 37 countries and 22 heads of state and government participate, and also recognizing Bangladesh. Awesome.
Yeah.
We also have, I'm still in 74, I'm trying to keep this,
busy year.
Yeah. 74 as well,
Busy day in the year.
Yeah, Samuel Bake attempted to hijack an aircraft at Baltimore Washington International Airport with the intention of crashing into the White House to assassinate Richard Nixon, but instead met his death at the hands of police. Now, how the hell do we know what his intentions were? Unless he straight up said him, or he somehow had a manifesto, which people are always somehow magically have a manifesto that pushes some political agenda.
Or people frenzied yak to about his plans. Who knows?
79, St. Lucia gained independence from Britain, the UK. And, I just want to, challenge our viewers. If you can let us know how we figured out his intentions, please tell us in the comments section, and get involved in the videos. Become part of history. Don't just witness it.
Add to our knowledge.
Yeah, and to yours. And 1979, St. Lucia, we got that one. 1980, Miracle on Ice. U.S. ice hockey team beat heavily favored Soviet Union 4-3 at Lake Placid in one of the biggest upsets in Olympic history.
Yeah, it was.
The United States went on to win gold medal. Yeah.
They even made a movie out of that.
Yep. Yeah, no, you've referenced it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it was a huge upset. The Cold War, they're our sworn enemy. They're the devil.
They were on par. In fact, they came over and played a number of professional in the NHL hockey teams, and they were right there with them.
Yeah.
They could beat them as well as anybody else.
Yep. 1980 as well, Afghanistan declared martial law. That doesn't sound too good.
Now, what's not known about that Miracle on Ice is that was not for the gold medal. We had to go on and beat Sweden for the gold medal. And
that's right. Because I did read that. It says the United States went on to win the gold medal.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
So that was that. You're right. Good catch there. Because I didn't even mention that, but I kind of noticed that. It was weird. 1983, Hindus murdered 3,000 Muslims in Assam, India. Yikes. And the notorious Broadway flop Moose Murders opened and closed on the same night at the Eugene O'Neill Theater.
Open and closed on the same night. That is not a good thing.
I guess they killed it too hard.
Oh,
man. The 1986 start of the People Power Revolution in the Philippines. 1989, the 31st Grammy Award, Don't Worry, Be Happy Now. Woo! By Bobby McFerrin. Is that the same song?
Yeah.
Okay. Faith by George Michael and Tracy Chapman won. 89 as well, Finnish Ministry of Public Health installed sex education to thwart stress. What? What? How the hell does that thwart stress? That makes no sense, and I'm trying to find it. It's Satanic Verses. We will be talking about that, so that's weird. Anyway, 1989, Pepsi Cola aired its first Spanish commercial on network TV during the Grammy Awards broadcast on CBS. And UK physicist Stephen Hawking called the proposed missile defense system known as Star Wars a deliberate fraud. So, a lot of stuff happening in 1989. Another busy day, in that year. 1990, the first day India versus New Zealand. Cricket at Auckland, New Zealand, 5-7-8 at lunch, 9-387 stumps. What the fuck does that mean? 93, Vinoy Cambly scored 224 versus England at Bombay, 411 balls and 23 fours. I didn't realize I had back-to-back cricket articles. I did not intentionally mean to do that to you. I just mark stuff and I just move on, 94, Aldrich Ames and his wife were charged by the United States Department of Justice with spying for the Soviet Union. 95, Algiers police killed at least 99 prison rioters. Yeah. I mean, you got to quell it somehow. I'm not backing them up, but, I mean, they're rioting in a prison.
Yeah.
They're already in prison. What are you going to do? What
else are you going to do to us? Yeah.
Threaten them with harder prison? They're already there, man. 1995, Steve Fawcett completed the first air balloon over Pacific Ocean, 9,600 kilometers. I think we covered this yesterday. And I think we've covered this the past 3 days, actually.
Maybe.
Because I believe I said that yesterday, that we covered it yesterday to yesterday's yesterday. So, 95, the Corona Reconnaissance Satellite Program, having existed between 59 to 72, was declassified.
Yeah.
So it took, 23 years?
To declassify?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. 97, scientists at the Rosalind Institute in Scotland announced they have cloned an adult mammal, producing Dolly the sheep, born on July 5th, 1996, later to die in 2003.
I do remember that.
Massive.
Oh, crap.
Massive.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Absolutely scary. 98, Peter Svoboda scored the winner at the Czech Republic, as the Czech Republic claimed its first ever Olympic ice hockey gold medal with a 1-0 victory over Russia and Nagano, Japan. All right. We also have the 18th Winter Olympic Games closed in Nagano, Japan. 2002, Angolan revolutionary politician and military leader of UNITA, Jonas Savimbi, was killed in the military ambush in the province of Moxico. That's not nice. 2003, Pakistani pace bowler Shayab Akhtar bowled the fastest ball recorded in cricket history at 100.2 miles per hour, or 161.3 kilometers per hour. Hey, they're throwing that thing, man.
Yeah,
so,
man, you got to bounce it.
No wonder they have those shin guards.
Yeah,
they'll take your leg off like a cannonball. Good Lord. 2005, the 6.4 MW Zran earthquake shook the Kerman province of Iran with a maximum Mercalli intensity of 8. Severe. No, Mercalli, not Richter.
Okay, yeah.
6.4 MW, and then Mercalli intensity of Roman numeral. Severe. So there's two, and neither of those are Richter because the Richter scale was rendered obsolete somewhere in the 90s. We haven't used that for most of my life. Yes, it was obsolete when I was still a wee little lad. So
a wee little lad. Yeah. Were you in England?
Scotland? 2006, at least 6 men staged Britain's biggest robbery ever, stealing £53 million, or about $92.5 million, or 78 million euros at the time, from a Securitas depot in Tombridge, Kent. Securitas, that's the security company.
Yeah.
That's Kim's girlfriend.
Worked
with for
Still
a time.
Does, I think.
Well, wasn't she fired or she quit?
No.
Hasn't she been to another one and she went back to Securitas?
Well, I don't know. I don't know her.
I don't know. I think she's been. Yeah, I think she's been in several companies.
I don't think she would have been fired. She may have quit.
I don't know. Anyway, 2006 at approximately 6:44 in the morning local Iraqi time, explosions occurred at the Al-Asari Shrine in Samarra, Iraq. The attack on the shrine, one of the holiest sites in Shia Islam, caused the escalation of sectarian tensions in Iraq into a full-scale civil war. Ay, ay, ay. Don't piss off the Muslims. 2008, Marco Van Basten signed a 4-year contract with Ajax starting from July 1st. What is Ajax? Why is that familiar?
Ajax cleaner.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
use it.
The oven? Okay, yeah. Okay, now I understand.
Yeah,
Huh.
sink cleaner.
So who the hell is Marco Van Basten?
I have no idea.
Well, okay. Is this some sports thing? Return of Van Basten. Okay. This is a big deal, apparently. Who the hell is this guy? Okay. It says coaching team, so... okay, if it's FIFA, so it's a football thing. It has to be some kind of, like, business partnership, sponsorship, something. Anyway, 2009, the 81st Academy Awards, Slumdog Millionaire, Sean Penn, Kate Winslet win. Heath Ledger was posthumously awarded the Best Supporting Actor for his performance as the Joker in The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely stellar performance.
Yeah.
But he literally gave his life. He was a method actor.
Yeah.
And he spent, like, before they even started shooting, recording for the film, he spent about a month alone, locked up in a hotel room, getting his mindset into the Joker, and he never broke character.
Huh.
But by the time they were done, shooting and all that stuff, he couldn't get himself out of character, and it was dark. And then he unfortunately deleted himself. But Heath Ledger needs every ounce of respect anybody can possibly give him for literally sacrificing his life for that role. Amazing performance, not worth his life.
No, not even close.
But, I mean, it's too bad he couldn't get himself out of that. But for what it's worth, he did a great job, yeah. 2011, an earthquake measuring 6.3 in magnitude struck Christchurch, New Zealand, killing 181 to 185 people. Their second deadliest earthquake. So, 2011, during the Bahraini uprising, tens of thousands of people marched in protest against the deaths of 7 victims murdered by police and army forces during previous protests. Yeah, the people are the power. And you start killing us, you're just going to make us all raise together, Eventually, even a cornered mouse fights, and you cannot keep people in fear forever. So, 2013, the UK's AAA credit rating is downgraded by Moody's Investors Service to AA+. The agency expects growth to, quote, remain sluggish over the next few years, end quote. That doesn't sound good.
That's not good.
2014, at the age of 34, Mario Mad of Austria became the oldest champion in Olympic alpine skiing history with the slalom gold medal at Sochi. Excellent. 2014 again? Look at all 2014s. Another busy day. This one here. Viktor Yanukovych was ousted as president of Ukraine by the parliament following the Euromaidan Revolution. He was impeached by the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine by a vote of 328 to 0, fulfilling a major goal of the Euromaidan rebellion.
I think we had a slight hand in that.
Massive hand in that. 2016, 10 million people were without water in Delhi after caste protests in Jat sabotaged the Mudak water canal. That is not good. That is very not good. 2017, Apple's new campus was named Apple Park in Cupertino, California, nicknamed this spaceship, designed with Foster Plus partners. The first of 12,000 employees moved in April.
Wow.
All right. And I think that was the one down in Silicon Valley that was empty during the pandemic. We've spoken about. There's a lot of those campuses. 2017, discovery of 7 Earth-sized planets orbiting the star TRAPPIST-1 was announced in journal Nature, raised possibility of alien life. Yeah. 2017, Jay-Z became the first rapper inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, alongside Max Martin, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis. And Jay-Z, I don't know, did he, is there some weird thing that happened?
But I can't tell you what.
I don't remember.
I can't even start, but something.
R. Kelly, I know, gave somebody a golden shower. Everybody knows about this whole P. Diddy thing going on. Jay-Z has to have some kind of dirt on him. There has to be something. 2017, U.S. President Donald Trump overturned Obama directive on transgender rights to use toilets. Yeah, because if all you had to do to perv on a woman is say, "Oh, I identify as," then you could just go in and look over the stalls and, then accuse them of being bigoted while you're getting your jollies on. That is absolutely disgusting. So, women need to have their privacy.
Women don't want a guy walking in there if you're transgender or not. They don't want a guy walking into there while they're in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Yeah. And if you're transgender, that's fine. If you don't feel comfortable using the men's restroom, okay, then you use it at home. Revolve your world around your own toilet at home. If you're gonna be that demand the world to revolve around you, you're crazy. 2018, Chinese short track speed skater Wu Dejing beat men's 500-meter world record twice en route to winning the gold medal at the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. Second man in history under 40 seconds, clocking in at 39.584 seconds. Dang. 2018 as well, Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak stirred up controversy by declaring he preferred quinoa to rice, the national dish. Oh, who cares, dude? Let the guy have his preference.
Why is that even listed?
That's why I posted it. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
2018, we got that one. Neanderthals, not humans, were the first artists on Earth, producing red cave paintings 65,000 years ago in Spain, according to new research published in Science. I gotta look at this here really quick. Bigger this, give me some images. Okay, these, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think what they did, because I saw something. Look at all that.
Yeah.
Now, how they did that? If Dexter's Lab, the cartoon, he had one episode. He had this time travel thing, and he accidentally brought a caveman into the modern day. And there was one scene where he chewed up a thing of chalk, and then put his hand on the wall and.
Yeah.
And then it was outlined. That's what this is. If you look at the actual rock.
I know that.
So I wonder if that's how they did that.
Yes, of course.
So, what else do we got here? 2018, women's big air snowboarding event made an Olympic debut at Pyeongchang. Austria's Anna Gasser was inaugural gold medalist. All right.
Yeah.
This was weird. 2018, a man threw a grenade at the U.S. Embassy in Podgorica, Montenegro. He became the only one killed when a second explosion went off with other injuries. The secondary source was edited, stated no injuries. So there's some weird discrepancy going on. There were 2 explosions, but he threw a grenade.
Yeah.
So the grenade obviously is the first explosion. So he blew something else up, and then that killed him. But
I don't know.
But then they edited
I've
with
never
other
heard of
injuries.
this before, and that wasn't that many years ago.
Yeah. 2019, actor Jesse Smollett was suspended from U.S. TV show Empire after revealed that actor made false claims about racist and homophobic attack. Yeah. When the demand outweighs the supply, they have to manufacture their own hatred to give themselves validity. Otherwise, they actually have to do things and make their lives valid without, oh, I'm a victim. Whoa, it's me. 2019 musician Peter Frampton announced he had degenerative muscular disease and that his next tour will be his last. Didn't he die recently? Peter Frampton?
I don't know, but I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, Peter Frampton. I'm sure I heard of him having been dead. So, born in 1950. He's still alive. Let me just double check here. Yeah, it doesn't say dead, so he's still alive.
Yeah, well, he's only in his 70s.
Yeah, 75. Well,
he got some kind of muscle degeneration.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, you're not going to play with that.
Yeah. 2019, Robert Kraft, owner of NFL team the New England Patriots, was charged with soliciting prostitution as part of human trafficking sting operation in Jupiter, Florida.
I remember something about that.
Yeah. He looks like a sleazeball. 2020, Portuguese superstar Cristiano Ronaldo made his 1,000th senior appearance by scoring in Juventus' 2-1 Serie A win over Spal. 725 career goals in 836 club games and 164 internationals. Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo, absolute legend in football and everything. Yeah. I think he was voted the most paid. Look at all those articles about it. Holy crap, dude. Cristiano Ronaldo, as of last year, was the world's highest paid athlete in 2024, earning $260 million, followed by Stephen Curry and Tyson Fury, with no women in the top 100 list compiled by Sportico. 2021, influential French dance duo Daft Punk announced their split after 28 years. Yep. 2021 as well, the wife of drug cartel boss El Chapo, Emma Coronel Espirito, was arrested in the U.S. On drug trafficking charges and conspiring to free her husband from prison. All right. 2022, 3 white men were convicted of killing black jogger Ahmaud Arbery, found guilty of federal hate crimes in Georgia. Jeez. Yikes. Yeah. 2022 as well, Joe Biden announced new sanctions against Russia, saying its latest moves in Ukraine amount to the beginning of a Russian invasion. Well, he was right there. 2022 as well, U.S. women's soccer players settled their lawsuit with U.S. Soccer Federation for $24 million and a promise to equalize pay. And we also have Tuesday, the name given to Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022, at 2:22:22 seconds, occurred. And I guess it happened twice. Because, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. So, 2023, astronomers reveal Webb telescope data was upending existing theories of how early galaxies were formed after finding 6 massive galaxies 100 times larger than expected soon after the Big Bang. Yeah, we found anomalies out there like a massive black hole that has no scientific reason to exist, but it does. 2024, Japan's benchmark stock exchange, the Nikkei average reached its highest ever. Nikkei. Average reached its highest ever level at 39,098, breaking its 1989 record. Wow. That's awesome. And 2024, Odysseus was the first private spacecraft to land on the moon, albeit on its side. It was the first U.S. moon landing since 1972. Wow. That's impressive. And that shall conclude the show for today. Please check the underbar in the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Zombie Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis. We can only bring you a portion. I mean, look at all this that we went through, over the past near hour, and we only could cover a portion. This is from 2 sources, Yeah. It's up to you to find the artifacts of our history, but only if each individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness, with a yearn to learn and see outside of what you think you know, to grow and find enlightenment. We have to find common ground with those who see their opinions differently from our own, and find a better way to be better to one another. For your dose of past events daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Standard Time, respectively, Eastern Standard Time, that is. Please check the underbar. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you, VRU, thank you so much for coming in and watching us once again. Don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! There's a thing.